Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rantage Gaming. This is Ryan.
And this is Ant.
And today we are doing a look back at Elder Scrolls. And first we have Elder Scrolls Arena 1994, released for the PC on DOS.
This is your gameplay, isn't it? This is stuff that you captured.
Yes, this is my gameplay, yeah. First of all, we've got some character build here, which is pretty important in all the Elder Scrolls games. There's a lot of variation. Even though the game itself seems small and irrelevant, there's a lot of variation in the character creation. This, of course, was the first game in a massive series.
It's a pretty big series. The Elder Scrolls has always been a big thing. Like
this is the godfather of Elder Scrolls, so to speak. First of the Scrolls. So we've got a couple of screenshots and we've got some video here for you.
Already you can see that it's the core gameplay that you've seen through all Elder Scrolls games, like dungeon crawling with your swords and your spells and all that kind of stuff. That's always been an integral part of the Elder Scrolls series. And for 1994, come on.
It is good.
It's pretty good.
I mean, we've got a 3D action here. Technically 3D. It's sort of 2D shots.
It's like
split
2.5D.
2.5D. Let's call it that. Yeah. Here we've got a little bit of kitting up your character there. We've got some swords, got some shields. The gameplay was, of course, pretty slow because of the times, because of the software, but it was, in all essence, a massive game for its time. And of course, it kicked off a generation.
Did I? Without this, you wouldn't have your Skyrim fanboys.
Exactly, you wouldn't. There's your ruby key. This is the very start of the game.
You didn't do very well in this game, did you?
I didn't. No. Fair enough. My gameplay is pretty poor. Pretty poor.
As we've seen in the 1v1s.
I managed to get out of here. I think I managed to kill about 2 or 3 of those little golem things. And
the axe is massive compared to him.
That is a massive axe.
His arm would never hold that in real life.
He's got a tiny arm.
So unrealistic.
He's a bit of a fire spell on this guy. Doesn't actually kill him.
Whoa, what's that, dude?
That is a sort of tree man.
Oh, so we're moving on to Daggerfall here. This is 1996. Again on DOS. And we're going to roll out some figures for you here.
Yes.
It's claimed that there are 750,000 non-playable characters in this game and 15,000 towns. Let those numbers soak in and realise just how massive this was.
That is 750,000 non-playable characters.
That's insane.
If you can talk to all of those in one game, I'd be very impressed. And 15,000 cities. But that's not just cities, that's cities, dungeons, towns, etc.
Like areas, yeah.
Yes. This game was
mind blowing. I mean, it's got the claim, the surface area of Great Britain.
Yes, the claim of surface area of Great Britain.
And Oblivion and Skyrim have what was it? Like 1,000 non-playable characters.
1,000 non-playable characters in that's Morrowind and Oblivion claim to have 1,000. This has 750,000. They did take advantage of the randomly generated characters and cities on this game though, so they've made really good fucking use of that, and it is incredible. Basically, there's nothing else to say. Get it played.
Pretty good, like, for the time.
We've got the final scene in the game here. That wasn't too much of a spoiler, but
it's pretty dire. It's pretty funny.
Next we have Morrowind.
Morrowind, which was like the first kind of 3D venture into the...
Yeah, it took a massive step visually in this game. This was 2002 for Xbox and PC.
Xbox!
It was ridiculous, basically. The step from 2 to 3 is huge. You've got fully 3D rendered characters, enemies, cities, everything like that. This is more towards the sort of gameplay that you know in Skyrim and Oblivion.
This is where that kind of started, wasn't it? This is, I think, the birth of that modern sort of Elder Scrolls.
You recognise this. For the young guys here who've only played Oblivion and Skyrim, it's worth going back to Morrowind just to see the roots. It's a fantastic game.
Just have to put up with the loading times.
Yeah. We've got some character building here. I couldn't tell the difference between man and woman here, which is why I chose. And I fancied myself a goatee, and I thought, let's give me some grey hair, because if I look old, I might look knowledgeable, so to speak.
Does
not work. You choose your star sign there. We've got some screenshots and footage built in throughout here. You'll recognise the action from Skyrim and Oblivion. We've got full on slicing and dashing.
Slicing and dicing.
Oh yeah. You can search your characters, you can search your barrels, you can kit yourself out with different types of armour. You've got your fully 3D rendered surroundings.
And giant mushrooms.
And giant mushrooms, of course.
You need giant mushrooms.
You can get pretty high off those mushrooms. The speech on this one was based on clicking on a question and getting a full page of answers, which you had to sit and read, which could be pretty tiresome, but if you've got the time to put into an Elder Scrolls game, then why the fuck not? If you're going to go through 750,000 cities on the old game, then
750,000 characters.
Yes. Then why not talk to 1,000 on this one? Got a bit of fire spell there. That is a giant bug.
That's a giant bug.
That is a giant bug.
Doesn't move. Kind of makes noises, but
perhaps the move later on in the game. I didn't get that far into the game because it takes a very long time to play an Elder Scrolls game, as you will know.
But play it properly anyway.
Of course. Like, my mission brought me to this first city here, where I needed to talk to someone to find someone else. I was bringing a message, so I wandered about. I got myself some new armor, did a bit of shopping, as you do. Got myself some nice armor, and then I thought, you know, I've got some shoulder pads, I've got some new briefs. Why not go and attack a guard? And of course, it didn't go well.
Never does for you.
I attacked him. I said, I'm going to run away, and then I said goodbye.
You gotta love the Elder Scrolls games from like Morrowind onward, because the music in them was amazing.
Oh, of course. I tried to run away here and do a fire spell, but I don't even get the chance to cast my fire spell before he kills me.
Epic fail.
That it was.
Oblivion!
Now we move on to Oblivion. PC and Xbox release was earlier than the PS3 release. Xbox 360, that is, not Xbox. But yeah. So we've got some footage and some.
This is like the cutscene at like pretty much start of the game. And already the visual updates and stuff like that are already apparent. It looks pretty good. It even stands up now as like a pretty good looking game.
It's amazing. It's a massive step up from the original Xbox and the PC from Morrowind. Even though Morrowind was an amazing game, there's no point in denying it. The visuals here, they really did put out on the visuals here.
They put on everything really. It was a quality game. The only thing I didn't like about Oblivion was the repetitive nature of the going to Oblivion, because it all felt a bit samey. But that was fun. That was pretty much my main gripe. A lot of people have said that Oblivion is superior to Skyrim. I think it's the best in the series.
Definitely. In terms of gameplay, it definitely is. Obviously, Skyrim's got the graphics because it's more advanced. It's later on in time. Of course, they're going to have better graphics, but in terms of gameplay, Oblivion was incredible. I played this game for many an hour, and I didn't get bored of it.
But then you also platinum Skyrim.
I did. I platinum Skyrim, ladies and gentlemen.
And we zoom in, and
once again we start in prison.
Yep, shotgun. There's a little bit of character creation. I don't do anything.
Got a big ass nose.
You can make your own class on this game, which I think was a new feature.
It is. Yeah, creating your own class.
So you can kind of customize the game to like your play style and stuff like that, which was always nice. And I always play as a grim motherfucker. Fun things you can do: knock out a rat. That's always fun. And then you can see the scenery. I mean, it still looks great. I mean, the textures aren't amazing, but the scenery was pretty good.
It's rendered in real time. It's incredible. We've got a bit of Bambi here.
And things to do with Bambi?
Well, Bambi's
slice its guts out. Why not? And we're going to step into Oblivion right now, which was kind of the main.
It's the Devil's Butthole.
It's the Devil's Butthole. It's the Eye of Sauron.
Let's get in there.
And obviously, the developers must play a lot of Mortal Kombat because spiky bridges and towers was. That was a good dodge there.
Yeah. Very good dodge.
Yeah. And the other thing I didn't like about Oblivion was like it was meant to be this really, really intimidating place, and you go through and you get those tiny little fucking golems coming after you. About as intimidating as
pretty weak.
A cancerous chihuahua.
They're not going to cause much damage, are they? 2 slices and he goes down.
Yeah.
So we're going to fade to white. That's you getting out of Oblivion, going back to the main storyline, and killing a
and going. I don't know why that was like.
And here we have Skyrim. This was, of course, released in 2011
release
on all platforms. We'll have a nice bit of gameplay for you here. This basically it just takes after Oblivion. It's the same game but with better graphics and supposedly more to do. But
I don't know. Like it was it's hit and miss on that department. But the visuals in this game are phenomenal. If you get the PC version as well, you get it modded. It's probably one of the best looking games ever made. Like
there's a lot of fanboys who go on with the mods and they create cars and naked women with huge titties, and I've seen some of them and it's impressive. But
I'm talking about high res textures and stuff
I'm
like
just
that.
I'm talking about titties.
Oh, tits. Okay,
yeah, tits are good.
Boobs are brilliant.
Obviously, the main storyline in Skyrim was of course the dragons. So we're gonna have a dragon footage, but then it's gonna cut out, and you're gonna kill a spider. Why the fuck not?
You're not.
So
Also, dungeon crawling again features heavily in all Elder Scrolls games, so we thought we'd include a little bit of that. I will apologise in advance. I was hammered when I was recording this footage, so
and I'd had a few drinks.
I'd had a few bevs, and I was pretty drunk.
The formula is basically the same throughout the whole Elder Scrolls series. You know, you travel from town to town, you find some missions, you go into some dungeons,
doing shit for other people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you do in every game.
You're a really nice guy.
You're always such a nice guy.
And of course, you've got the Thieves Guild, you've got vampires, you've got werewolves, which I don't know if you knew or not.
I did like being werewolf in this game. It was pretty badass.
I did. But they of course featured in the very first game.
Did they? That's interesting. Yeah. Could you be a werewolf?
I know. They definitely featured in the second game. The first game, I could be mistaken.
They came along at some point.
They did. In the second game, you could definitely be werewolves. You could definitely be a vampire. I know that for a fact. We've got a little bit of footage there earlier, which was vampire and werewolf footage. And essentially, the gameplay is exactly the same. It's just
sorry about that.
That's all right. Sorry. Essentially, the gameplay is exactly the same. It's just the way it works, the weapons you get.
It's a tried and tested formula, and it's no wonder they stick to it because it works really well.
I've never been a Dungeons and Dragons person, but I can imagine Dungeons and Dragons players would sort of enjoy this sort of game.
Oh, they do.
Because I can imagine this is the sort of scenarios they would go through, and you would go fight a dragon with it. And of course, you can enchant your axe with
anything you want.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And at the minute,
that's the one thing about Skyrim that Skyrim really did have, was like expansive stuff like that. You could enchant your weapons, you could upgrade your armor and stuff like that, doing all that kind of stuff. I loved all that enchanting and all that kind of stuff.
But of course, you could do that from the start of the series.
That's very true, and I liked it in Skyrim.
But anyway, this is all we've got for Elder Scrolls, and we're going to have a little bit of a show through here of the full history of Elder Scrolls, and
we'll see you next video. Like and subscribe if you like it and want to. Check out the other videos, and we'll catch you later. Ciao.
Goodbye.
Ow.